Today's video, it's all about what the heck can we still do to our motorcycles with all the new emission laws coming out. They're changing everything. Are we going to turn into another California and the rest of the United States? Stay tuned and see what the heck is going on.
And who we're going to talk to.
So today we're going to stop by and talk to Speeds Performance Plus. They are really involved with a lot of performance work on bikes. So we're going to go talk to Jamie and go from there. Today, welcome to Bob and Tam Show today. We got something special today. We got Jamie from Speeds Performance Plus. They've been in business for over 26 years coming to the motorcycle rallies. Actually, I think it's probably pretty close to 24 or 25 years, the first time that we had some work done in Laughlin by you guys.
Yeah.
Back then, I think it was your dad.
Yeah.
And your brother was involved too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You were just probably a little kid back then.
Younger, for sure.
You were turning the wrenches back then.
Yeah, younger for sure. Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So today we're going to talk about, there's a lot of talk on the internet about emissions. That it seems like that a lot of people are getting really scared that you're not going to be able to do anything to a new bike. So tell me what you think and what you hear and what you know about the industry about in the future here.
Yeah, and you are right. Emissions is a big factor, and everything seems to be moving that way towards that. But there's already manufacturers out there like Vance and Hines, S&S, just to name a couple of them, that have already gotten a lot of their products that they sell, whether it be exhaust, engines, or anything like that are EPA certified, 48 states, 49 states. And I think that's eventually where everything's going to head to if they keep pushing emissions, stronger and stronger like it looks like they are. I think a lot of these big manufacturers will figure out ways, just like they did in the car industry, to be able to figure out how to make power and make the Harleys run good, but deal with emissions at the same time.
Do you see like tuners? Do you think they'll change a lot?
I do. I do think tuners. You've already seen that. Like DynoJet, for example, they've already come out with a power commander. Like the old power commander we used to use eliminators. So you would actually unplug the O2s and it would read a constant number, so it would kind of tell the computer that it was still plugged in, more or less, kind of fool it. Now they have a power commander where you actually use the O2 sensors and then you leave it plugged in. And then now DynoJet, I saw they just came out with a power commander 6 for the new 23 and a half, 24 and up bikes, so you can actually tune those. They're the first people that came out with a tuner that you can mass produce that you can tune.
So years ago, Harley had a tuner.
They did, yep.
And so is it similar now to what we're going back to similar to what they had, or is it just completely different?
No, it's completely different just because a lot of things have changed. Not to get too technical on it, but if you go pre-21 bikes, like there was like 3,500 lines of code, and now we're at like 12,000, 13,000 lines of code. So there's a lot more stuff the engineers need to do or figure out in order to make everything work. And every time it seems like Harley comes out with a new update or whatever, it takes the aftermarket industry 6 months, sometimes a year, to kind of catch up to the things that they need to do so you can operate and tune them and things like that.
So on the 24s, a lot of people are talking about there's a lot more electronics and everything that's on the 24s. Are you seeing it difficult or different to tune the 24 models?
Well, so far we haven't even tuned any of the 24 models, just because they didn't have any tuners yet for them. You could do like exhaust, air cleaners, and things like that. But like I said, they just came out with that Power Commander 6. So we were kind of sitting and waiting for DynoJet to come out with a Power Vision or something that would work. And then we were also waiting for Thunder Max to kind of catch up. Those are kind of the two main tuners that we use. And so far, they didn't have anything until they just released. I think right before I came to Myrtle Beach, I got an email on that Power Commander 6, and we don't even have any yet because they just developed them. So I think the aftermarket will catch up, but it's even in the stereo side of stuff to get away from tuning. Like we use Rockford Fosgate a lot, and they haven't even come out with newer updates for the newer stereo stuff other than OEM. They have the OEM Rockford stuff and things like that, but the deck is so new because the new deck communicates with the ECM. So I think it's creating a lot of problems for the companies and stuff because they got to be able to figure out how to make all that work. Because even Harley, I know, had a recall on their new system that comes out in the 24s where some of the bikes were shutting down or they wouldn't start or something because the main brain or deck wouldn't talk to the ECM, and they were having some issues with that. So I think they're still working through some of the bugs. It kind of seems like, at least in my experience, that when Harley comes out with a new model, it's probably best to wait a year or so and let them kind of work those bugs out of the thing. And I think that's even in the car industry, you see a lot of recalls and stuff too. Kind of wait that first year, especially when they come out with really new stuff. Wait, let them work out kind of the bugs, and then, then dive into it is kind of a better way to go, in my opinion.
So far, performance-wise, in the future, what do you think the things that are going to really affect the emissions?
I think eventually, and nobody knows, right? Of course, only Harley and EPA and then people, but I think eventually they'll probably all be liquid cooled. I just think Harley's having a really hard time passing emissions being air cooled. That's why if you look at most all the other motorcycles in the industry, the other brands, they're all liquid cooled. And I think they're going to have to go that route in order to pass all the emission standards, because it seems like they're getting stricter and stricter every single year.
So by an engine running cooler, it puts out less emissions?
It does, yep. Anytime you can reduce heat on a motor, it's a good thing all the way around, right? Longevity, parts last longer, just everything is better. Better emissions, things like that too. So more comfortable for the rider, so they're not complaining about heat when they do ride, or their passenger. So yeah, I think I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, we've been in business for 26 years, and everybody kind of goes through these stages of, they get a little worried about what, is going down with the industry. And I'm like, there's so many smart people in this industry that, a lot of these manufacturers have unbelievably smart guys, engineers that'll figure it out, and they'll change, just like the car industry did back in the 80s when they got strict with that and everything. And you look at the cars now that they're making and the power they're making now with the smaller motors, they're making more power than they did back in the day with the V8s and things like that. So I think eventually Harley and the motorcycle industry will go that route. I think another big factor that they're fighting is the younger generation. That's the thing, is like with Harley, I just think they're really struggling to get the younger generation to ride the bikes, buy the bikes. Like most of our clientele is probably ages of 45 to 65. That's kind of our group of riders. Your younger 30s and 20s, we just don't really see a lot of them people for those reasons.
I already want to thank you
Yeah.
for the series, and appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
After listening to Jamie, it's hard to say what the heck is going to happen to the future. It's getting harder and harder to find pipes that don't have converters in them. Are they going to put restrictions on tuners? We're going to have to wait and see. The 2024s, he said there's a couple tuners that are starting to come out, but I'm kind of like him. I might want to hold off a little while and wait to have that put on my bike, just to make sure all the bugs are out of it. If you've got a 2024 down here, let me know what you're thinking about doing to the bike. Are you going to change and put different cams in it? You're going to change the motor? What the heck are you going to do with the tuner and things like that? What's your thoughts? And if you've had any work done in this last year, let us know down here in the comments what you've had done, and if you had any trouble trying to find tuners or find pipes for your bike, all that good stuff. Let us know right down here. We got some more tech stuff coming soon. We got quite a few questions we asked Jamie on a whole lot of different items coming up soon. So stay tuned, and we'll give you a whole lot more tech stuff before we get rolling on our Sturgis series.
There you go. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Hope you got a lot of great information out of this video and you enjoyed it. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Share us with your family and friends. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notifications, and we'll see you on the next video.
By the way, stay tuned this Sunday. We've got a live coming, and we're going to have Marcus. He's going to be talking about Little Sturgis. How wild does that get over there? What kind of setup does he have if you're thinking about going to that? That's in July. It's coming up right before Big Sturgis. So it's over the one that's over in Kentucky. So stay tuned and start looking for that on this Sunday.
There you go. See you soon.